You're tuned into Human by AI with Ashish Garg. Real, unscripted conversations about how humans and AI are shaping the future of community finance. Grab your favorite drink and let's dive in.
All right, so audience, welcome back. Today, very special guest from my first ever credit union in America, the one and only Texans Credit Union. I have somebody over here. This gentleman loves to talk. So, sir, I'll mostly be doing the listening here.
Oh, okay.
I expect you to do most of the talking.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean that as a compliment.
Oh,
Mike.
thanks.
So, can you please quickly introduce yourself to our audience?
My name is Mike McWethy, Executive Vice President at Texans Credit Union.
Thank you.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
Well, I love this industry. I have a passion for what we do. Leveraging technology in order to elevate member experiences is my main focus. And so aligning the people, culture, systems, platforms, and our strategy behind creating great experiences for members is what I love to do, and I love to be a part of this industry.
And Texans Credit Union was my original credit union. Came to America as a graduate student. 9 months later, got an internship at Texas Instruments. That's when I became a member of Texans Credit Union. Texans approved my first ever car loan in America. I will never forget that moment ever. And now I have Mike, the EVP from Texas. So I'm over the moon.
Those moments are impactful, and we get to do it all the time.
That's awesome, Mike. So we'll quickly jump right into it. The title of our podcast is Human by AI. And my first question for you, is AI a technology story or a workforce evolution story?
It's transformational. It's an evolution. It is absolutely expected to, and I hope will transform both the experiences outward from who we serve, but more importantly, I think in the short term, it's going to completely modify how we do business, how we analyze business, how business is conducted. I think it is an evolutionary change for our industry.
Yes, and let's talk about the short term. I know this is a very passionate topic for you, the state of the industry, where credit unions are, et cetera, et cetera. And when you talk about how we run our business or sort of analyze our business, can you give us a couple of examples where either you're applying AI or AI could be applied very quickly?
Wow, the roadmap of where it could be applied is lengthening every day. It's just, once you've been a part of it and you've leveraged it in some of these systems, you thirst for it in all of the other areas. And so we started off with the mindset of the member experience, right? So we being able to assist a member at 3 a.m. with a variety of needs that they have meant that we either staff a call center 24/7, and that's very difficult, or we leverage AI in order to assist with some of those things. So that was sort of our first step, is from an outward standpoint, and that's of course we're using Entropy, so that's of course going well for us. But it became very clear that we needed to continue to scale up as an organization, but remain efficient. So we very quickly shifted our focus to an inward efficiency gain for what we do and how we operate. So we went through the organization to look at how many clicks does it take to do a process, and then we quickly found a couple easy wins and leveraged AI in order to complete a process that took our employees 20 minutes, 30 minutes to do, and now it's a click of a button and it's done in less than 1 minute. And so that opened our eyes to, well, that can apply to everything. So from how we process loans to how we onboard employees to all of our processes. And so we immediately started hiring and shifting staff towards AI development for process automation. And of course, we dabbled in so many things just to figure out how far we could get with it. So we leveraged AI in order to find statistics of information where we are seeing a higher proclivity for delinquency, where our normal analysis wouldn't work, because we know what we know. So we're looking at everything through the lens of a filter or a query based upon our best guess, when AI is searching for all the data that it has accessible to it to then come back. And so there were many things when we leveraged AI to say, what's an indicator for someone to go delinquent that we are not thinking of? And we had a list of things that actually kind of shook us a little bit that we did not consider. So, it's multiple fronts. So from a member experience standpoint, it's helping members 24/7 with more things faster and easier, making them feel seen and heard. It's internally for efficiency gains from workplace automation. And then it's analysis and information and creating data for us to understand what's happening in our business. And all of it is accelerating. And so I cannot wait to get more of it involved, right?
And I love the analogy you used that the runway for using AI continues to get extended every single day, and it's accelerating the newer capability just coming online. Let's talk about the other topic, which is really the human element.
Yes.
And I personally know a lot of my friends, colleagues, we're all technologists, we live in Silicon Valley. A lot of this sort of hearsay coming out of Silicon Valley that, listen, AI is after people's jobs, right? There's going to be this white-collar job precipice, which is coming at us, etc. Mike, are you seeing some of these fears in your credit union, in general, the industry, that, hey, AI is coming for my jobs?
Of course, as soon as they hear about that. But we decided to just hit it head on. And tell the story. What is the use of AI? What's our intentions, both short-term and long-term? And I think being very transparent with that has been helpful. For instance, in the call center, when we say, hey, we're going to have this AI voice assistant help our members, well, then that's going to strike fear, of course, in call center agents immediately. But if you explain, look, we're trying to help people at 3 a.m. with complex issues. We're also trying to help people with very, very simple issues that are just not complex, that we're investing your time and energy to answer a simple question like, what's our routing number, or where's it? An AI assistant can help with that because, in the credit union industry, you just talked about the emotional connection that credit unions provided you early in your life. Those are the experiences that we provide. And there's a percentage of the population who care about a local, trusted institution with their financial lives. And so what do they want that for? Because they want a human there to be able to serve them. And so the story that I like to repeat over and over is we leverage AI to help with efficiency gains, analysis, and the easy stuff. When it comes to the areas of opportunity for a human engagement, we need to free up our employees from all these trivial things and all this analysis and all the things that AI can do so that you can shift your focus on the people that we serve and have a real human connection. I actually feel like AI is going to help us be better at human connection because we can shift our focus. You think about it in a branch even. A lot of people are scared about all these ITMs and putting these electronics in the drive-thrus and all these things. Well, we did that to help people who, if you don't care about getting out of your car, right, you can handle those transactions. But if you're willing to get out in the Texas heat and go into a branch in order to engage a human, you expect a human because you need that human connection. You want that dialogue with someone who you feel like they actually care about your scenario. And we can do it better now because now our tellers are not focused on the drive-thru. They're focused on whoever comes in. Let's spend the maximum amount of time we can to make that human connection and help them understand what their financial lives are needing and pour into that. So I feel like AI is going to make us better at serving humans.
Yes. And I love what you talk about the human connection and the need for the human connection. And you also spoke about people's financial lives. Can you give our audience maybe an example of when in a financial life for people that human connection is especially relevant and needed?
Sure. Well, your scenario, right? You needed your first car. You needed some guidance on what that was like, and how does this financing situation, how does that work, and how does that apply to me, and what do I need to know? You don't know where someone's at in their life, either from financial pain that they have, or they're concerned about what their credit is. They're about to purchase their home for the first time. They've had fraud on their account. There's all sorts of these triggering moments where they quickly go from what's the fastest, easiest solution on an app to where can I get a human to hold my hand through this very scary scenario? When they move, when they get married, when they have a kid, when the kid goes to college, when they have grandchildren, when they're about to retire. All of these scenarios in life are the moments in which credit unions really can pour into the human connections where you can have the dialogue and let AI handle the trivial stuff and then be there for humans. Yeah, it's in those moments that you don't want the fastest, easiest, cheapest solution. you want someone to guide you through, here's what you should know, here's what I recommend, and you feel like you have a path forward on what to do in those scary moments. And it's like, man, AI, I just don't think in the near term is going to be able to do that.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. So last question for you, Mike. I have 2 young kids, 13 and 10, both in school. They're sort of born into this AI native world. Like my son, when he gets his homework, a lot of times clicks a picture, puts it on Gemini or ChatGPT saying, hey, solve this equation for me.
Right.
Of course, I have a tough time preventing that, but I try lots of times. So when you look at this younger generation that is being born in this AI native world, AI is going to be around, and they have these tools right on their fingertips. For this generation, based on your experience, what is it that these kids need to study and get really, really good at so that they're able, when they grow up, to be able to leverage AI?
The shift now has been, how good are you at thinking about what the inputs need to be for the best outputs? Years ago, it was, everybody was saying, learn to code, all right? And so that's shifted away because we know AI can do that. But what we're learning very quickly, it seems like, is being able to think about all of the parameters and scenarios to frame the request within AI as to what it needs to output, because it's a dumb machine of zeros and ones, right? And it's trying its best with the data that you provide it.
Yeah,
you have to handhold it, just like you might need to handhold a new person and a 10-year-old, like you're talking about, right? You're having to help them understand what to think about and what to consider and what are all the considerations and all the choices there are. And so we grew up with Google, and we grew up with just asking a question and then, it being able to provide an answer. Well, AI can do that generally, but it doesn't understand your intent. It doesn't understand what argument you're trying to frame or what data sources to go look at. And so I think the best people who are going to leverage AI can have the broadest awareness of all the considerations that need to go into our decision making or our workflows or our systems. And I feel like that's going to be a new skill set that will allow those that are really good leveraging AI and those that are not. It's going to be the skill set of thinking broadly about all of the considerations that are needed in order to output or make a decision or create something.
So it's almost like, if I were to summarize that people are really good at framing the problem,
right?
And the data sources from where you can pull data to help find the solution. The solutioning by itself could, maybe AI can take a crack at it, but really being able to define the parameters on what problems we need to solve.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. And I think as we are marching down the AI road, what we're finding is people are just, generally speaking, people are struggling with understanding what the use cases are.
Yes.
Right, because we're very prescriptive, we're very precise, and we have our own frame of reference of what we've learned in this business world.
I love what you said, style of thinking. It needs a new style of thinking.
Yeah.
Style of critical thinking, skepticism, being able to define those problems better, and then just testing some of the solutions that come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Such a pleasure. Always a pleasure having you. And I look forward to having you again on my podcast. It's a very fast evolving field. And I have a feeling as time goes, you'll have a lot more to say on where the world is heading. So, Mike, always a pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.